In NCIS Season 22, Episode 5, NCRT is forced to handle a case involving a purported Cold War spy. All of the main cast members from Season 21 of NCIS have returned for Season 22, despite the fact that the year began with everyone appearing preoccupied with their own personal projects. Tim McGee was competing for a promotion, Nick Torres was working undercover, and Jessica Knight was the Chief Reactive Training Officer at the Marine Corps Base Camp Pendleton in California. They all eventually returned to Navy Yard. In the premiere, Seamus Dever plays Gabriel LaRoche, the new antagonist for NCIS Season 22. LaRoche is a serious danger to both national security and NCIS. A diplomatic envoy's untimely death is then dealt with by director Leon Vance, Rocky Carroll, and the group. Following the most serious setback to the NCRT to date, NCIS Season 22, Episode 4 finds Alden Parker and his crew attempting to avert World War II after an algorithm created by Curtis intercepts communications from Belarus. With an exciting, poignant twist, Episode 5 presents yet another national security concern. Nick Torres, Wilmer Valderrama, asks Agent McGee, C. Murray, in the first scene of NCIS Season 22, Episode 5, In From the Cold, if he had to brag about asking for the NCIS Deputy Director position, which was eventually awarded to Gabriel LaRoche. McGee asks whether Nick is also seeking a new job and acknowledges that he had to make himself sound and look qualified for the application. Nick clarifies that he wants to get excited for a new relationship rather than a new work. Jess enthusiastically participates in the conversation, thrilled about her teammate. Nick tells Jess in Episode 3 of Season 22 of NCIS that he wants to try his hand at dating once more. At first, Nick was just on mad quest to serve as Jess's ex-boyfriend Dr. Jimmy Palmer's wingman. However, in Episode 5, he discloses that he has a profile of his own. The disclosure sparks several amusing debates regarding Nick's profile, including the theory that he may have staged photos of someone else's dog to make himself appear more likable. At first, Nick believes that his appearance sells him sufficiently that his profile doesn't need any words. After receiving word of an ongoing hostage issue, the squad is summoned to Liberty Naval Hospital. Even though the team is enjoying Parker's box of delectable scones, they quickly race to find out more. At the hospital, the team discovers Thomas Butler, a retired Navy captain who strangely speaks Finnish despite his denials that he speaks any other language. In addition to providing a list of numbers translated from Finnish that Butler said while momentarily confused, the hospital explains that Butler is time-shifting into past recollections. Butler's phone shuts off when McGee enters his name and the numbers he provided into a database. When McGee conducts the search using the hospital's computers, the entire city block loses power and the hospital's energy is turned off. The CIA returns the bug to NCIS in search of solutions after KZ creates a countermeasure for the tripwire that prevents it from shutting down another system. The CIA is notified by NCIS's hunt for additional information about Butler, and CIA officer Conrad shows up at the Navy Yard to contain the damage. When Vance declines Conrad's demand that NCIS halt their investigation, it appears that Conrad starts working with the agency. Conrad tells Parker and director Leon Vance that Butler worked as a Soviet intelligence agent during the Cold War. The CIA discovered the program in the 1970s, which allowed Butler to wear an American disguise and retire under supervision following his nation's collapse. Parker and Vance are perplexed by Conrad's argument, which also explains why the CIA supposedly permitted a Russian spy to work at the Pentagon. The CIA operative, however, maintains that intelligence necessitates taking the long game, asserting that the CIA was controlling the information flow by orchestrating the leak. Conrad maintains that Butler posed no threat, but a few moments later, Agent Knight phones Parker to let him know that Butler had slain a hospital employee and is currently at large. Conrad becomes involved in Parker's inquiry as a result of the discovery, and his narrative is modified to reflect the fact that they were unaware Butler was their undercover agent. As part of their investigation into Thomas Butler's case, the team works closely with Danny, Thomas' son, who informs them of his father's absence from his early years because of his service in the Navy. McGee says that when NCR2 receives Butler's papers from his and his son's home, it makes him think of his father's former office, which was filled with Navy stuff but had not a single family photo. It sounds like Captain Butler was in a club with both of their fathers, Torres remarks. Nick Torres and Timothy McGee also feel some of the same emotions after Danny's experience.